welcome to Sidestreets and Intersections here on IntellectualRadio.com. I am your host, Angela Champ, and just in case you are taking the drive in from work or you're taking a late lunch, please tune in to Sidestreets and Intersections here on IntellectualRadio.com. And just in case you're looking for an opportunity to host your own show here at IntellectualRadio.com, please do not hesitate to call 708-223-8953. In the show, I will have my called-in guest, Charles Austin Griggs, who is the founder of Sparkle, an event that I hosted, was actually the MC this past weekend for Deborah's Place. So she's going to be calling in very soon, and I want to thank her for the opportunity. And out of that, other relationships have evolved, and I want to also thank Dr. Phillips to me in some areas that I needed her to assist me in. So I want to thank you for that very, very much. And so how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing today? The title of my show is that giving should not be isolated to a season. See, we want to, sometimes we're in a, or that has been pressed upon us, and now it's time for us to be happy. You are a person that understands giving is something that you do every day. It shouldn't be isolated to a season. And I think that we have to learn to change our mindsets. Don't just get happy when the so-called season is made, and then we start giving. What we want to do is make sure that we are giving throughout the year. And by that, I'm not necessarily talking about giving of material things. Time, being an ear, and actively present to someone who needs to them. So once again, the title of the show is Giving Should Not Be Isolated to Just a Season. And just as a reminder, we are an iHeartRadio station, so please feel free to download the app, Sidestreets and Intersections on IntellectualRadio.com. I can also be seen Facebook Live, heard on Spreaker, IntellectualRadio.com, some other mediums, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Alexa. So I am really, really excited about what 2018 is going to bring for me. And over the last couple of weeks, some things, and that understanding that we have to learn how to redirect our energy. And so that when things are not working out in your life as you may have thought you wanted to work out, you want to make sure that you change your mindset. Like, don't get mad when someone or something has been removed from your life, because a lot of times we have allowed things to distract us from keeping us off. And so those things have to be removed, or those people have to be removed, so that we stay the course. And I just want to say that I want to thank my girlfriend, Rhonda. She has been my rock, along with Karen, since we were itty bitty kids. I remember the first day I stepped up into high school, and Rhonda, she just became like my instant friend. So I love you, Rhonda. And so it really, really is just so amazing. I'm really in this really good space because I recognize that our lives, we have to start asking ourselves, how do we contribute to it? And so it doesn't matter whether it's a lost relationship. It doesn't matter whether it's something that we think good has happened. We have to ask ourselves, how did we contribute? To take those proper assessments of our life, not to do with anymore. And so we can no longer, it's okay to do the blame game because it makes it easier for us to process the hurt. But we have to ask ourselves, did you not know that? And sometimes because we want to be loved so much, we're willing to sometimes those red flags. And it doesn't necessarily make the person bad. It just makes them who they are. Is to change my mindset about anything that I've gone through. Sometimes we do have to fake it till we make it. Even though sometimes the hurt may be insurmountable, we really do have to fake it till we make it. And in this season, everybody wants to get happy and everybody, they want to start giving now. But are you giving throughout the year? It shouldn't be isolated to just Christmas or Thanksgiving. Christmas is every day and Thanksgiving is every day. You should be thankful every day. There's something that we could be thanking the Creator for. And I am just really excited. Tony is tuning in. Hey, Stacy, she's a childhood friend that I grew up with. Angelo Carlisle is tuning in. And I want to say that I'm just like really on 10. And I'm on 10 because I woke up with a renewed sense of comprehension. And okay, so I think we got some background noise because there's some the audio is not very, very good. So I apologize if the audio is not all that good. Are you guys picking up? Is it a little better? So I woke up with a renewed sense of comprehension about life. And I started to look at all the things that I could be grateful for, as opposed to all the things I thought that I had lost or was losing. I sat up on the side of my bed. I realized that faculty's working because somebody didn't wake up today. I still have my mind, which is intact. There was no reason to be upset about anything. And so from this point moving forward, any and everything I do, my steps, they have to be ordered by my Creator. It's still bad. They said the audio is still bad. Okay, so can you guys hear it now? Is it a little better? I apologize for any technical difficulties that you all maybe experience. If you all are having problems hearing me, please go to the website, IntellectualRadio.com, and you guys should be able to hear the audio. So I really do apologize if you guys are hearing a lot of feedback about that, but we know stuff happens. So how are you choosing to give back? What are you doing? I mean, are you, participating in a coat drive maybe this weekend? Are you carpooling? Are you babysitting your grandchildren? Are you, so people are going to the website and said the audio is still bad, and I really want to apologize to each and every person that is listening and or tuning in. I'm usually pretty good about that. So please pardon the technical difficulties. I'm so excited about what's going on in my life. And I realize that, and we have to learn to adapt on a moment's notice. And also learn to of the best of others. Meaning that if you can take yourself outside of your experience, learn to see the best in others. Because we are all full of things that we need to be working on, perfect. And I want you to consciously practice something. I was given this bit of advice that when you want to say something negative, just kind of put your hand over your mouth, utter that negative thing. I'm going to learn through practice to do that. Because what I want to do, and I want people to know about me, is that each and every place that I go, I want people to know that I'm giving off is about elevating, catapulting people to the next level. And that we have to learn in this season. Who are you really? Are you giving because you have an expectation? Or are you giving because you truly want to give? And that's the difference. And so when you start giving because you expect something in return, you find that you're going to let yourself down. And so it's just, I'm just in this amazing space. And so I learned today that I am now in residency. So my goal is almost done. August 2019, I will receive that doctorate. And it came with a lot of tears and a lot of sacrifice, and sometimes broken relationships. Now, would I want to do it over again? Probably not, but absolutely. So I just want to ask each and every one of you that are tuning in, how are you giving back in this season of giving? Done before. Help someone that you didn't think that you would help. It is very humbling. I was talking to a good friend of mine this morning, and he was sharing with me that he doesn't get into the habit of, I like it. He's in the habit because of the hustle. Because when you like living a certain way, then you don't get into, well, this job is too good for me or that job is too good for me. I learned that we have to always create multiple streams of income. And I challenge you on today that if you lost your job today, or if you could no longer do what you've been doing, what else could you do? Oh, I think we have a call. My calling guest is calling, and so, okay. This on button. Good afternoon, Miss Shar Austin Griggs. How are you today?
Hi, good afternoon, Miss Angela. How are you today?
I am doing good. And so I want to reintroduce you actually. Facebook, iHeart, Spreaker, YouTube, IntellectualRadio.com, and Alexa. On the line, I have Shar Austin Griggs. She is the founder of Sparkle. And so what it is that you do and how you and I met.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having me today on the air.
Thank you.
Once again, you're welcome. My name is Charlena Griggs Austin. I'm the founder of Sparkle Effect Workshop. Don't know what sparkle means. Sparkle means to shine as women, to prosper. We all have the gift of anointing for ambition, to be kind, loving, and always walk with the spirit of excellence. Sparkle has been around for going on 9 years, and what we do is we serve the community basically by needed. Mostly we go into shelters, we go on the streets, care packages and things of that sort. I met Angela through a friend of mine, Delphine Bridges. Angela is just a wonderful person. She was the MC at our last event, Deborah's Place, which we had a wonderful time.
We really did.
Yes, so we got a chance to meet the women of Deborah's Place. Most of them are in transitional housing. So we put together wonderful Christmas stockings, basically inside of the stockings were personal hygiene products, all the things that they can use as women. And we just spread a little joy by having a Christmas program. We had wonderful dancers, from Whitney Young. We had the Congo players, the original 46th Street Congo players. It was just a beautiful event. And I thank you so much, Angela, for everything that you've done. It seemed like I've known you all my life. You're just such a light.
Appreciate that. And just to let you know that some conversations, we both got sick. We were supposed to meet for lunch, and we both wound up getting a very bad virus or something like that, and we were sick.
Yes.
And so
yes.
Event, there was no script. Everything was given to me at the last moment, and I was supposed to put everything together, and it came out. It was so wonderful. And
so my goodness.
It was so amazing, and I want to thank you. I know that you have some up and coming events. Would you like to talk about those things that are up and coming for 2018?
Oh, absolutely. For 2018, well, annually we always do like a women's conference, and that includes everyone. But for this year, we're going to make it a little bit special. It's going to take place in either March or April of this year, or 2018 rather. And it's going to be a survivors conference. So we're looking for women that are survivors of whatever sort, whether it be breast cancer, etc. women that are just moving forward, because that's what it's all about. And we will be honoring, certain women. And this is going to be an amazing time. We do not have the venue as of yet, but we're negotiating and we're working on it. So I'll get back with you once we have all of that taken care of.
And I most definitely will make sure that information gets out via Sidestreets and IntellectualRadio.com. Shar, can you talk about in corporate America? And because I love that story in terms of you understanding the need to give back. You are very successful, as a matter of fact. Can you just talk about how you managed to navigate through the corporation that you were at, and then at that point when you were retired or you had left, you realized that it was something else that you needed to do?
Yes. Well, once I realized, I worked for Xerox, for many years. I traveled the world. And once I realized there was more to life than just, making money and spending on myself or spending on the kids or my husband. There was more. Met so many people throughout the world, and at Xerox, it's a global company. And when women would lose their jobs, basically we lost contact, because a lot of times we as women, we feel as if we are our titles. And then when something happens, you realize that that's not who you are. So there was something bigger. So God gave me a vision in 2008, and I wanted to do more. So that's how Sparkle Effect came upon, because I wanted to do more. I wanted to give back. And in doing that, it just really inspired me. And nothing can replace the feeling of back to others, putting smiles on, people's faces.
Absolutely.
So that's my story, corporate America. I'm in corporate America, but I still do my thing, with the Sparkle Effect, because that's important. It's important no matter what you're into, to always remember those that are less fortunate. Always give back. I'm from very humble beginnings. I grew up on the 42nd in Lake Park, and the chief judge, Timothy Evans, was the alderman at the time of the 4th Ward. And as a little child, he used to come every Christmas and, take us and have a Christmas program. And we really learn by giving back by watching others. And most of the kids that I grew up with in the projects, now they work down at City Hall, the Daly Center, the Thompson Center. And we all give back to others because we know how it is to grow up without.
Absolutely.
And also how, most of us were single mothers at one point of another. So we can identify with not having care for our children or the adequate health care and things of that nature. So when you're in a position to help others, why wouldn't you? So that's just my story, and that's just, who I am, looking for ways to give back.
Well, I want to say that you are very dynamic, you're very powerful, and there were so many powerful women there, whether they were in transition or whether they were part of the program or whatever. There were so many powerful women there, very talented women. And I want to say that as a person who choose before, it was just so good to let them see what recovery in terms of coming back from a hard time, what it looks like.
Right.
And that oftentimes people they try to associate perceived success. And I think that you saw the video that I posted earlier about perceived success. A lot of times people think they just see the outcome, know what it took to get you there.
Yes.
And so we can talk about having gone without, coming from humble beginnings. And that's why I entitled this show today, Giving Back shouldn't just be a seasonal thing. It is an everyday thing that you live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Giving back is not something that you do around Christmas time or Thanksgiving. Giving back takes place throughout the year. And you don't need a big bank account or a whole lot of money to give back. I mean, if you have a special talent, like I posted yesterday, I'm a good braider. I don't have a professional license, but I know how to French braid. So I decided to donate my talents, to certain little girls that need their hair braided, because sometimes the mom can't afford it. But, in exchange, they can bring a toy that I would donate, to a local shelter. So we all have gifts, whether it be public speaking, just like you came in. You didn't need a script because you're a professional. You came in and you helped with the community event. And that's awesome. And that's really, what life is all about, giving back. Once again, giving back does not always include monetary. You can give back with your time. There are a lot of little babies out there that are sick that need someone just to, go to the hospital and rock them, hold them, and little things that we all can do.
And I think what's even so more important is
when
we talk about, like you, as well as I, having had a lot of different material things.
Yes.
But it did not bring that level of peace until you were able to give back to other people. And sometimes, even when you're going through, that is the best time to give back, because it shows you but it also is very humbling. And I think that it makes you very relatable to the individuals who are experiencing that crisis or that experience at that particular time. And I just want to.
So important.
It is.
I love the way you said that.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm inspired every time I go to Deborah's Place and the shelter, transitional housing. I'm inspired, by their stories, by their strength. We really didn't need to bring outside talent because there are so many talented women there. And for them to come up and forget about their situation for a minute and come up and sing with power, and just find, a lot of them came in, with their heads held down. But when we left, they had their heads really what it's all about, because all of us, no matter what job we're working or what have you, all of us are 2, 3, 4 paychecks away situation.
You're absolutely correct.
So it's just a matter of understanding, who you are, and I'm not saying I don't like good things, nice material things, but that's okay to look good. But it's also important to give back, and once again, not just on holidays, but all during the year. Sparkle Effect we're always giving back at least 6 major programs a year. So it's just a really, really good feeling. And if we all can just unite and do those things and try to help those that are less fortunate than us, then it's all good. Even the people that you look at sometimes together, they need mentoring too as well, because some people they're masking their feelings, they're masking what they're going through, all because of image that they want to uphold. And I know that's another subject, but that's something that I want to get into of 2018 as well. I mean, and let's just be real, with one another. If you don't have it, you see people driving around in fancy cars with $1 in their pocket. Get real. If you need you need a food bag, don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed, to reach out for help. That we need to get into, especially women, because we're also we're also just in tune with how we're looking and want to please others instead of really getting down, to the realness of who we are.
You're absolutely correct. And I think that for me, having fell on some hard times and having had and not have, you understand that in any given instance, your circumstance can change, and the ability to adapt on a moment's notice. We have to stop raising our children to not able to survive.
Yeah.
We've taught them how to be codependent, but we've not taught them how to be survivors, and that being a survivor isn't a bad thing. It means that you have the skill set to adapt to changing circumstances. And so I was so grateful to be a part of the program. And I left there with such a renewed sense of spirit that over the last couple of days, I had to change my mindset on some personal things that I was going through or that I'm going through, so that I could redirect my synergy and my energy and understand that we are all broken. It's just how many pieces. But to take those broken pieces and not to look at life as if your life has been shattered, but those broken pieces represent multiple and thousands of opportunities.
Amen. I really, really like that. I saw a little of what you posted the other day regarding broken pieces, and it's the broken pieces that make us who we are. You know, just like they always say, if you didn't have a problem, how would you know that God can solve it? And how would you know how strong you are when things went your way? So everything, all the scars, all the battle scars, that's what makes you who you are.
That we, you know, a lot of times through experience, we so often want to play the blame game because it makes it easier for us to process the hurt. But what is that we have to ask ourselves, how do we contribute? Because we are all contributors that mold our life.
Yes.
And so whether and we have to begin to ask for the ability to discern so that we don't find ourselves in the same type of situations after situation after situation. And that, you know, we often tell children, if you don't want to get burned, don't touch the stove.
Exactly, yes.
Continue to touch the stove knowing that it's hot, and then we ask the question why. And so on this morning, I woke up with a renewed sense of comprehension about decisions that I have made that particularly were not necessarily the best ones, but they were decisions that I made in that moment or that time. And even in saying that, it has made me, or is making me become a little bit more well-rounded. There was a time when I was not that very relatable, you know, in terms of just being kind of down to earth, because we think that, once again, it's perceived success. We think that our education or that our jobs or that our addresses define us. But at the end of the day, what does it say about our character?
Exactly.
And so a lot of, a lot of times people, and let me just say this for a lot of people that are on Facebook, a lot of times you might see a post and you think that it may be directed to you. That's not necessarily so. Sometimes the post is a result of an epiphany, recognizes. Now, the only time it may hurt if there's some truth that applies to your life.
Yes.
And so,
well, the truth hurts.
And so I started to say, I woke up this morning and I said, okay, Angela, your energy is going to be different. Understand that any decision that you made, any outcome that was not favorable, sometimes we have to have these unfavorable outcomes because it keeps us humble. When went the way we wanted it to go, we would have no need to be humble. We would have no need to give back. We wouldn't know how to relate to people. And I just want to say, when I met you, when I walked in there, it was just like I knew you. And but what I want to also say is that you exude such a certain degree of power. It's important for women like myself to surround themselves with women like you, along with Dr. Phillips. You guys are such powerful women. I am really, really grateful, and I want to continue to work with you along with the Sparkle organization.
Absolutely.
And I'm putting my bid in for the conference. I'm putting my bid in.
You got you, girl.
Thank you.
I could even think of a better person that I would like to to MC this event, and it's going to be, very powerful. And one thing I want to say is that iron sharpens iron. So it's not about me, being so powerful. I am who I am because of people like yourself.
Amen.
I am who I am because of the women at Deborah's place, because of the way of my upbringing, very humble. People used to come on the nuns, they call them. They used to come, pass out peanut butter and honey sandwiches, when we were kids. And we were so grateful because we didn't have, and Christmas consisted of walnuts, pecans, when you saw the apples and fruit on the table. So those are my humble beginnings. Those are memories, that I have. So it's just all good. Just whatever you do in life, you can't with the fact that treating people nice, treating people with respect, that's really what it's all about. And if you're not doing that, if you don't have a really, really good character, it doesn't matter how much you're making. It doesn't matter what your title is. But what does matter is how you treating people, because that's really what it's all about. How are you serving people? Are you a serving leader? Are you a leader that are you serving from the top down or the bottom up? Are you? So
Yes.
a serving leader serves from the bottom up.
And so,
So that's really what it's all about.
and so
So
for
I
my,
am just so happy. Thank you for having me, on this program. It means a lot, for people to just even acknowledge, the work, that you do, because there are a lot of people that's out there, giving back. I'm nothing special. I just do my little thing, and that's why I try to tell people, just do your little thing. Whatever you can do, whether it be riding through McDonald's through the drive-through, paying for someone else's meal behind you, little things. You see?
and so for those who are seeking out your services or they want to know how to get in contact with you, can you give that information to our listeners?
Absolutely, I'll be happy to. They can always reach me via email, Char, that's spelled CHAR 60 at live.com. Again, Char, CHAR .60 at live.com. And I am the founder of the Sparkle Effect Workshop. And I would love to hear from you. And you can also call and leave a message at 630-863-2937. Once again, 630-863-2937.
And I want to thank you. I know that you
You're
had
welcome.
some other obligations. And so for you to take the time out to call into the studio and to give this interview,
Wow.
I really
Well, we have
appreciate
to
it.
do this live. If I could have this much energy on the phone,
Definitely.
be
You
like this
will be
person.
here
It's
in the
awesome.
studio. We will make that happen in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I know that
Yes.
you're going to be extremely busy with the holidays, but I would love to have you in the studio so that people can visually see what you look like. And we can just talk about some things that I would love to collaborate with you in the upcoming year.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that this is a relationship that is continuous, that is not just for an event, but I want to
Oh,
keep
no.
the relationship going, and I want to be of service, not just at Deborah's house, but in any other capacity that I am able to serve them in.
Thank you.
And
Thank
so
you.
I want to once
Well,
again
you're stuck with us now, Angela.
thank you. I
Your
really am humbled by
listeners, I
that.
want to
Thank you.
let them know that Angela is the real deal.
Thank you so
Amen.
much.
And she just lit the room up, with her spirit, her attitude, and her humbleness. So I thank you once again, Miss Angela, and to your listeners, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and I'm just so honored, to be a part of this show.
Thank
To
you
the
so
staff,
very
thanks
much.
for taking my call, and to everybody, Merry Christmas.
So we want to thank Ms. Charlene Austin Griggs, founder of Sparkle. And once again, I want you guys to stay tuned because there are some other events that will be coming up that I will have the fortunate of being part of with this organization and with such a wonderful and powerful woman. And so once again, I know you're busy, so I'm going to let you get back to what you were
Okay.
doing, but I want to say I love you. I thank you, and I will be in touch with you in the
Okay.
upcoming days.
Just take your time, sister. You know where to find me, and I love you more, okay?
All righty,
Take
have a
care of
good one.
yourself. All
Okay,
right. Bye.
bye-bye. I thank my special guest, Char Austin Griggs, founder of Sparkle. I was the MC for the program at Deborah's house on this past weekend. It really was powerful. And I also want to thank my former coworker, Delphine Bridges, who she via messenger said, "Hey, I want you to be a part of this program." And we hadn't talked in a while. And for her to believe that I was able to do this, um, it says a lot about what she thought about me. So I want to thank you, Delphine Bridges, for recommending me to be the MC of ceremonies for this past weekend at Deborah's Place Sparkle 2017 Christmas program. And so just as a reminder, if you are looking for an opportunity to host your own show here at IntellectualRadio.com, hesitate to call 708-223-8953. And let me just say thank you to some of the people that are tuning in. Johnny Sansone, he is a former co-worker of mine. He is tuning in. Director Mario Reyes. Come to find out, we know some of the same people in the music industry. So thank you. And most definitely will be giving you a call when I'm off the air. McBride, I want to thank you. Angelo Carlisle, I want to thank each and every person that tunes in. Your support, I could not do this if you were not tuning in. And once again, if you, just as a reminder, if you are looking to host your own show here at IntellectualRadio.com, please do not hesitate to call 708-223-8953. The subject matter, giving, should not be isolated to a season. And with that being said, got a little tat on. With that being said, if you're hungry, it's because you're looking to be fed. I am Angela Champ for Sidestreets and Intersections. Until we meet again.